Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we go beyond the headlines, especially for, well, the biggest stage in club football, the Champions League. That opening night feeling, there's nothing quite like it, is there? The lights, the anticipation. But, underneath the final score, what really drives these massive games? Today, we're getting stuck into one that gave us a lot to think about. Bayern Munich versus Chelsea in the recent opener. It ended 3-1 to Bayern, sure, but it felt like much more than that. Loads of tactical stuff, moments of sheer quality, and some interesting narratives. We've got this excellent match report here, and basically our job is to unpack it, all the key plays, the stats that matter, and what the people involved actually said.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan. Because the Champions League opener, it's never just about the points, is it?
Yeah.
It's a statement. It sets the tone. And what jumps out immediately from this report is that contrast you mentioned. You got Bayern, this powerhouse, with an unbelievable home record, and then Chelsea, walking in like Club World Cup winners, full of confidence, almost ignoring the history books. It's a classic setup.
Absolutely, and we really need to start there. With Bayern's reputation going into this, the report lays it out pretty starkly. I mean, get this. They hadn't lost a Champions League opener for over 20 years. 20. And the aggregate score in those games, something like 63-8, that's just, wow, it's dominance defined.
It really is. That's not just a statistic. It's a psychological weapon, almost.
And on top of that history, their form this season was already flying. 19 goals in just 5 games before this one even kicked off. So with all that weight, the history, the form, what kind of mental edge does that give Bayern before a ball is even kicked?
Oh, it's huge. It creates this aura, especially at home in their stadium. For an opponent walking out there knowing that team scores for fun, knowing they always win their openers, that takes serious mental strength to face down. You have to really, really believe in your own game plan to not get overwhelmed by it all.
And yet, Chelsea seemed to have exactly that belief. The report says they showed little respect for the stats. They came in as Club World Cup winners, remember? They'd beaten PSG to lift that. And they basically fielded the same team. So how does that defiant stance square up against Bayern's, well, frankly, terrifying record?
Well, that's the fascinating part, isn't it? Being Club World Cup winners gives you a different kind of confidence. It's global. It says, we're the best. That kind of title can make a team feel maybe not invincible, but certainly capable of beating anyone, anywhere, regardless of history. It's a belief in their quality, their system. And even Manuel Neuer, Bayern's captain, pointed it out. He called Chelsea a big hurdle, acknowledged their status.
Right, so Neuer himself is saying, look, these guys are serious.
Exactly. When the opposition captain says that publicly, you know that confidence Chelsea had. It wasn't just internal bravado. It was real, and it was recognized. So you have this clash. Bayern's long-established European dominance versus Chelsea's sort of newly minted champion mentality.
Okay, so the stage is set. 2 confident teams. And it wasn't like Bayern just rolled over them from the start, despite everything we've said. The report mentions it took Bayern a while to really exert their dominance. What does that early phase tell us? How did Chelsea manage to resist initially?
It tells us Chelsea's confidence wasn't just talk. They clearly came with a plan, likely focused on being compact, denying space, frustrating Bayern's rhythm. For Bayern not to dominate immediately at home, that shows discipline and execution from Chelsea early on. But, at this level, sustained pressure eventually finds a crack, and it came from Michael Olise, who we'll talk more about, I'm sure.
Yeah, he seemed key.
He whips in this really dangerous cross. It's put in with pace, awkward height, and it forces the defender, Chalobah, into a mistake. Own goal. It wasn't some magical piece of skill that opened them up first. It was relentless pressure, forcing an error. And that kind of goal, an own goal, can be a real gut punch.
A total momentum killer for Chelsea, you'd think. And it seemed like it.
Yeah.
Because just 6 minutes later, bang, Bayern take charge. Harry Kane does what Harry Kane does. Turns Caicedo, wins the penalty, steps up, and the report notes coolly converted. 2-0 inside half an hour. That penalty record of his is insane, isn't it? 15 out of 16 in the Champions League.
It's incredible. And think about what that says. It's not just about technique, hitting the ball well. Every single one of those penalties comes with massive pressure. The eyes of the stadium, the weight of the game. To be that consistent, it speaks volumes about his mentality. Ice cold. He just blocks out the noise and delivers. It's what separates the elite from the very good.
Absolutely. And at 2-0, after the own goal, then the penalty, you're thinking, okay, maybe now Bayern will run away with it.
You might think that. But credit to Chelsea, the response was almost immediate. Cole Palmer finds the net on the counterattack, and the report says it was their first attempt of note. That's resilience, isn't it? It says, okay, we're down, but we're not out. A huge goal to keep themselves in the contest.
What a turnaround. Just shows you, doesn't it? The ebb and flow. Now, you mentioned Michael Olise earlier. The report really singles him out. A constant live wire down the right wing. It even says his duel with Cucurella was almost worth coming to watch in itself.
Yeah.
What was Olise doing so effectively out there? How did that individual battle shape Bayern's attack?
Well, when you hear live wire, you think constant movement, directness, always looking to make something happen.
Right.
That was Olise. He wasn't just staying wide, he was taking Cucurella on, looking to get past him, looking to deliver. That duel wasn't just for show, it had a tactical purpose. By constantly engaging Cucurella, pinning him back, maybe drawing over other defenders, Olise creates space, either for himself to cross or shoot like that volley that went just wide, or for others, it stretches the opposition defense. And that's crucial to how Kompany seems to want Bayern to play. Use the width, create those one-on-one situations, overload the flanks.
Right, stretching the play, making the pitch big. And that fits with the overall picture of Bayern being dominant and pressing high. But, and this is a recurring theme in the report, Chelsea still posed a threat of their own throughout. It wasn't one-way traffic. Even Konrad Laimer for Bayern admitted their team has quality, can always hit back. And Sanchez, the Chelsea keeper, made big saves, apparently. How do those two things coexist? Bayern's dominance and Chelsea's persistent danger.
That's top-level football, really. Bayern's high press, their dominance in possession, it's designed to pin teams back, win the ball high. But the flip side of committing players forward to press is that you can leave space behind. And if the opponent, like Chelsea, has quality players with pace, they can exploit that space on the transition, on the break. So Sanchez making saves from Laimer, from Olise, those are crucial moments. They keep Chelsea in touching distance, keep their belief alive. Laimer's quote is spot on. You dominate, yes, but one lapse in concentration, one quick break, and a team like Chelsea will punish you. That's why it remained, as the report puts it, tight, hard-fought, and exciting, even when Bayern seemed on top. The threat was always there.
Okay, so it's tense, it's hard-fought, and then up steps the old nemesis, as the report calls him, Harry Kane again. Apparently he joked before the match about Chelsea not liking his name much, and then he goes and proves why. He grabs the third goal, pouncing on a mistake by Malo Gusto, who was under pressure. That felt like the moment that finally sealed it, right?
Absolutely the decisive moment. And it's how that goal came about that's really interesting, especially thinking about Kompany's tactics. It wasn't just a random mistake. Gusto made the error under intense pressure. That pressure is the key. Kompany actually said something revealing about this. Pressing with us doesn't mean winning the ball back, but that we want to score. See the difference?
Okay, so it's not just win the ball, then we'll think about attacking. It's win the ball to attack immediately.
Precisely. The press itself is designed to create an instant scoring chance, to catch the defense disorganized in that moment they lose the ball. Gusto's lose touch. That's the trigger. That's what the system is designed to force. And who's there to pounce? Kane.
Kane. Always Kane. And that was his fourth brace, fourth time scoring 2 goals this season already. And 10th goal overall. We're only in September.
The numbers are phenomenal. And he's the perfect striker for that system because he's not just a finisher. He's intelligent. Listen to his own words about it. Possession was key, finding the right angle, helping each other. He understands how the press creates openings. He mentioned seeing Chelsea tire, spaces opening up. He reads the game, anticipates where the mistake will happen because of the pressure. Laimer also mentioned intensity being key. It's that sustained, collective pressing effort that wears teams down, creates those loose touches for Kane to feast on. It's the system and the perfect player for it working together.
Wow. System and player in perfect harmony. So wrapping it up, the report calls it an excellent result over the Club World Cup holders, a real statement win for Bayern to kick off their campaign. And Neuer hits his 100th Champions League win. Incredible. He says they're riding a positive wave. Sounds like confidence is sky high in Munich.
And rightly so. You beat a team like Chelsea, you start the group stage strongly, Neuer hits a massive milestone, the feeling must be fantastic. That positive wave is real. However, and it's an important however, Kompany brings a dose of realism. He says, it's still too early in the season to write about how well we're performing.
The manager tempering expectations a bit.
Exactly. It's not negativity, it's experience. He knows one great result, even a dominant one, is just a starting point. The Champions League is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be tougher tests, dips in form, injuries. His caution is about maintaining focus, understanding that consistency over months is what truly matters. And really, this whole deep dive shows that, doesn't it? Top-level football is this mix of brilliance, tactics, mentality, but also managed in the long haul.
That's a great point, and it really shows how much you can pull from just one match report when you dig into it. It wasn't just 3-1. It was Chelsea fighting back, Bayern pressing relentlessly, Elise's duels, Kane's finishing, all these layers building the story of the game.
It really does. And maybe that leaves us with a final thought for you, listening at home. We've seen Bayern's power but heard Kompany's caution. We've seen Chelsea's resilience even in defeat. So thinking about the rest of their Champions League journeys, what does this opening match really signal to you? Which team's core qualities, Bayern's aggressive tactics or Chelsea's champion spirit, do you think will take them further in the competition this season? Something to chew on.